Rogers, Lodgers and Tax Dodgers. Here we are for a second time, and again I'm going to need instant feedback, otherwise I'm going to have to admit defeat yet again. You join me here, this is an unscheduled live stream, and so not one that has been put onto your calendars, but hopefully one that comes onto your screens nonetheless, and if again I start to get playback of my own insufferable voice once more, then I'm, as I say, going to have to admit defeat once again. But hopefully some of you are here, and if you are, then please do let me know so that I'm not just chuntering into the ether. Let us make sure that people can join. Let's make sure that people can hear. Hopefully it's a more hospitable environment. I'm seeing two whopping voluptuous zeros at the top of the screen, so that is hardly cheering. And I probably shouldn't have put my complete collection of Saki's books in front of me there, but that obviously skewed the audio in the last video. But come on, join and let me know. There is another live stream here. The other one is, to coin a term, buggered. So if the audio is better, if the viewing experience is better, please let me know now, on penalty of death if you do not do so. I want to know whether this is a more hospitable and communicative and hearable and comprehensible live stream, because the last one was terrible. So please let me know, thumbs up and comments and all the rest of it. I want to know how you are seeing me, how you are hearing me, and how everything is going. That way I know that we're on equal terms, and I know that things are as they should be. So yeah, please let me know. I'm seeing that 3 people are here, and yet you are not rushing to your keyboards, even though I have governmentally compelled you to do so. So yes, please let me know how we are doing, how you are hearing me, how you are seeing me. It's all about the technological trappings at this hour, because I wasn't a master of the live stream, but I've done a few in my time, and they went off without a hitch, and suddenly I cannot do one for toffee. I cannot do one to save my life. So yeah, please let me know whether you're seeing me, whether you're hearing me, whether everything is going well. I need the confirmation, folks, otherwise as I say, otherwise I will have to put this one in the ditch as well and watch Hull Kingston Rovers unviewed. I'll have to watch it on my sorry own, which will not be good. So let your comments come in. Am I allowing comments? I'm clearly not seeing them, so if you're smashing the screen with them, then they are not coming through. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guide your privacy. I'm doing that. I would like individuals to chat, and I can't believe for one second that 24 people are here, and yet none of you are giving me anything, for lack of a better term. So please do get some comments in, just to show me that there's human contact. There's lots of hearts fluttering at the bottom of the screen. Getting back on track says everything's fine. Well, that, sir or madam, is an enormous relief. So I can get into my opening section now, can I not? I may look a little greasy and a little sticky to you all, and that is because I have been sunning myself unashamedly this afternoon. I've been reading a few magazines, reading a few poems, reading a few... okay, brilliant. So we've started off mildly. Saw Gordon has said, do I support Palestine? I do indeed support Palestine. Israel is committing a genocide against the Gazan people, and Benjamin Netanyahu should be in handcuffs. Archgirl says it's hot today. Ashlyn says, please say my name. Hello, Ashlyn. There is some Korean insignia, I do believe. Does the tree grow or the knee grows? I've no idea what's working there. Steve Donahue, what are the top 3 things you hate about Christopher Russell? I would probably say I have concerns about his sort of stoner voice, you know what I mean? It may be no fault of his own, but he does sound as if he smokes an awful lot of marijuana, so that's not good. What else might I say? His rapid rise is very, very annoying. For someone who craves virality, to see him gain as many subscribers as myself in a matter of months is, of course, very, very annoying. So his speedy and accelerated success, I don't doubt that George Soros is behind that. And the third and final thing would be his love of the Reformation. It doesn't interest me, and yet it references it certainly interests him. So there you are, Steve. We really do have august company this evening. Saw Gordon says, are you British? Yes, I am. It would seem that when I'm doing a live stream, I do get an awful lot of riff-raff in here. Not the usual bunch who watch my videos, but randomers who are somehow being snaked through to me. But I have the last dregs of a cup of tea in my hand, and Steve Donahue says, somebody asked if Joe Spivey is British. Could anybody be more British? Yes, I do have a smack of the Hugh Grant about me. Do I not? So yeah, keep your comments coming in, folks. We've got 30 minutes before Hulkingston Rovers play the Castleford Tigers, and that means that I get to scream and shout about unmolested victory. Archgirl says, you sound like a parody of a Brit, to be honest. Okay, so we're just going to throw barbs at the presenter. That's good, that's great for everyone's mental health, and we're all getting along nicely. Ashlyn says, that is racist. I'm not ever so sure what's being referred to there. Archgirl says I'm British, so we've got, as per usual, we have got a dishonourable crowd at the beginning, but that is no problem at all. I'm sure the regular customers will be in soon. Archgirl says, sorry Joe, that's no problem. But yeah, I'm going to ignore the vitriol that is being spewed at the bottom and tell you about the secret history. I'm going to obviously dedicate an entire video to it tomorrow, but I have found it quite the most uneven read, or the least even read. It was pulling me in for the first 100 to 150 pages. I thought it was Mantel-esque. And then Donna Tartt kept dropping breadcrumbs about the mystery, and then sort of authorial craziness and laziness swept those breadcrumbs away. So Saw Gordon asks, what is this live for? I'm doing it to communicate with my subscribers. If that is in any way disagreeable, then you can jolly well bugger off. Archgirl says, vitriol, it's not that serious. Okay, well, that's just my my snowflakey nature coming through. Steve Donahue, what do you say to your enormous fandom among South Korean girls? They devote cell phone shrines to you. Yes, they quite probably do, don't they? I would like to offer an oath in their tongue, but I know not one syllable of Korean. So, I mean, you know, the Brit in me wants to bow, but I don't know whether that's in any way xenophobic. I am struggling for words here. But yeah, keep your questions coming in. We're going to be, as I say, watching the Hulkingston Rovers at 8 p.m. So that's 28 minutes away. So we have an awful lot to discuss before then. I enjoyed the first, as I say, the first quarter of the secret history, and then found that my subscription fee ran out, if you know what I mean, and whatever Donna Tartt was putting on the plate, I wasn't too thankful for. So that's pretty unfortunate. But yes, keep the comments coming in. Tell your friends, double thumbs up, and I will be sure to, you know, whatever you want me to do, whether you want me to comment on GDP per capita, or whether you want me to do a cartwheel, or whether you would like me to factorize the number 64. I am multi-talented, polytalented. I can do all of those things. Obviously I'm a vain character. I'm always faffing with my hair and checking the cheekbones. I'm looking awfully greasy this afternoon. Steve Donahue again, keeping this chat going. Thank you, Steve. When you are inevitably Prime Minister, will you take stern measures against BookTube? No, of course. It's part of this channel's law, LORE, that you know, buying a subscription or paying for my Substack or commenting down below secures yourself and your family's freedom. But I should imagine that YouTube and BookTube will have been nuked by that time, and so I won't have anybody to. I won't take stern measures. I will be the most limp-wristed and centrist of Prime Ministers, if indeed the office of Prime Minister is available to me. I'll probably just be better. I'd be a better spokesman, wouldn't I? I'd be better as the sort of the chairman of the party, or some sort of understudy, some sort of media gadfly who is, you know, sort of responsible for releasing the message. I would be, you know, the medium rather than the message. But yeah, I'm just finishing my fine English tea. Everybody needs to comment down below and to get us talking. You may well be doing so, and I may just well not be receiving it. But yeah, this is not the live stream that was planned. Again, if you're coming late, I had a live stream planned, and then for some reason I sought to set it up sort of behind this collection of Saki's short stories, and that muffled the muffled the audio and made it sound as if I was coming to you from deepest Afghanistan, and so the original live stream went for a Burton, but we are here, we are regenerated and rejuvenated, and Shane Berry said hi. Hi, Shane Berry. That is the first person not to have insulted me or to have intuited racism on my part. That's good. That's good. But yeah, we've got 25 minutes until the Rovers start, and yeah, we should be heading for another processional victory this evening. But you just never know. But we've got 10 people here. 4 people have given me a thumbs up. That means an awful lot because the figures are good. But yeah, I want you guys to stimulate me, as it were. I was going to talk about the secret history, but Many of my thoughts have left my brain, yeah, I hope to be doing a full video for you tomorrow. Slurm Carey says, have you read The Count of Monte Cristo? I have not. I know that it's a massive book, and I know that it's loved by very many, and is purchased by very many booktubers, and is often cited as the longest book they've read. But no, I've heard of Monte Cristo cigars. Grandfather smokes Monte Cristo cigars quite regularly. But apart from that, I know nothing of the text. So that would be... It would be nice to get. I've got all sorts of weighty classics still to read. Yasinu, do you think the rise of video essays could translate into more readers for actual essays? I have the feeling that if you wrote down most video essay scripts, it would be an incredibly boring read. Do you think the rise of video essays could translate into more readers for actual essays? So in other words, do you think watching video essays will take people to written essays? Probably not, because that requires a scintilla of an attention span, the smallest and meekest attention span, which my generation does not have. The second question, I have the feeling that if you wrote down most video essay scripts, it would be an incredibly boring read. That's right. Yes, it's conversational and more. It's concerned with the tropes of the internet and not with the written word. So I agree with you there. Although I mean, just random creators spring into mind. According to Alina, she's got about 50k subscribers and does perfectly brilliant video essays, and I imagine that her stuff written down will be pretty good. But the video essay is a strange genre. It's conspicuous because it's not short form content in that it asks for more than 4 seconds of your time, and yet it's not a sort of hour and a half long video. These video essays are usually 20 to 45 minutes, and they are obviously immensely informative. So I quite like them. I watch a lot of Jordan Teresa's. Steve Donahue again. Realistically, is there anything that can be done about David Murphy? I'm not sure that we need to do anything to David Murphy, Steve. I'd probably leave him put. I was just messaging him, not 15 minutes ago. He's having a little walkies around Minnesota, and he took a picture and posted on his Instagram about a particularly picturesque lake, and I said it was a great spot. And apparently, I'm probably breaking news here, like Ted Cruz to Tucker Carlson. I am breaking news that David Murphy may well be doing a vlog of that lake walk. Getting back on track is back on track. What book do you really want to read, but for whatever reason never have? Oh, hell, that's a good one. I have had Don Quixote on my shelves for a while and would like to be somebody who has read it. What else? What book have I had for ages but I've been putting off? That's a good example, Don Quixote. Karen P said hi. Hello, Karen. Is that Karen Potter from Boston? Then, if indeed it is, then a sumptuous hello to you, madam. Another book that I've had for ages that I haven't yet read. Oh, I've had the Slim Martin Amis novel, for goodness sake. The not Time's Arrow. Could it be Time's Arrow? Yes, Time's Arrow is. Have I read that? Could I have read that electronically years ago? I don't think I have. I've got it physically, and I meant to read it immediately and haven't. So there's another. Slurm Carey, do you use Goodreads, the app? Thank you. No, I do not. No, I did very briefly at the start of last year. I put something like Dr. Thorne and The Great Gatsby on there, and maybe a sort of 75-word review. And then after that, I gave up, essentially, because there is such a breadth of quality of comment. In other words, you have somebody writing 1,500 words like James Wood and another person insulting the author's racial identity. Saw Gordon, goodbye for now, but before I leave, my sincere advice, read the Quran at least once in your life. It answers the biggest questions about life, purpose, and existence. Thank you, Saw Gordon. I shall attempt to do that, if only to discredit the doctrine. I'm interested in the monotheisms. I'll need to get to my own culture's Bible first, but I'll be after your Quranic Eastern stuff soon as well. Nietzsche and Wig says, "Sigh, marry me, Joe." That is incitement to action, and we don't do that on this channel. Steve Donahue says, "No, Joe, marry me." I believe by the time I get across the Atlantic that homosexuality or homosexual marriage would at least have been barred in the States, so I don't think that's possible, chaps. Nietzsche and Wig says, "No, I'm closer to him in age." Well, age is just a number, you know. Susanna Reid's in her mid-50s. Gwyneth Paltrow's probably north of 60 by now. What's her name? Janet Street Porter has great teeth and a huge swanky pad in SW1. So, you know, in other words, if you're 60 plus and have spooling assets, then I'm not averse to you. Steve Donny, who says, "How dare you?" People are communicating amongst themselves, and that's not good because I am I'm the main shot of this channel. I'm moments away from turning on the television, and I won't be referring entirely to the goings on, but I'll be looking at the build up, ascertaining the channels. We have, I don't know whether I should be revealing this on camera, but we have what is referred to colloquially as a dodgy stick in the United Kingdom. So whether I've just committed illegality on camera, I do not know, but it means that because regular Sky is so expensive, we contact people who hack into our system, and we get everything for virtually nothing. Dylan Matthias, Steve is a sexy 28-year-old influencer, as you well know. Yeah, I mean, of course, we've got to... what we've got to do, we've got to indulge Steve's fantasies and mania, but that's no problem. Slern, Carey, any thoughts about watching 28 Years Later? No, I have seen advertisements for it, but haven't thought about watching it. Nietzsche and Wig, you are wrong on War and Peace. I'm reading Anna Karenina right now, and it pales in comparison, as in Karenina does or War and Peace does. That sentence is difficult to discern. Steve Donahue, 28 Years Later is so good. Okay, well, that's high praise indeed. David Murphy, what the fresh hell am I walking into? You're walking into a live stream with Steve and Nietzsche and Wig and myself. This time, no golden lager has been consumed, and apparently the stream is functioning as normal, so all is well. But yeah, I think this is the closest I will ever get to communicating instantly with these august fellows, so this is nice. Nietzsche and Wig, I mean, War and Peace is better than Anna Karenina. Well, yes, but a kick in the teeth is better than a poker up the arse, I suppose, so we needn't go there. Yes, the precious David Murphy is here. Welcome. We only need Christopher Russell, Aaron Facer, and Jack Edwards, I do believe. It was interesting, I was going through some of Jack Edwards' old content earlier, actually, because I was looking up the dark academia aesthetic, and yeah, sort of 4 years ago, so maybe 2020 and 2021 was at least his fakest time. He's, if anything, slightly more authentic now. He's sort of, you know, he's beetling about, you know, platforms of media events, but whereas 4 or 5 years ago, he really just was a little goon in his bedroom. David Murphy, yes, everyone should read Anna Karenina this summer. Have you read it, Joe? Yes, I have, and found it to be reasonable but underwhelming. I can't get to the Russians for some reason. I have Russian-speaking associates or friends online who tell me that translation is so complex that to adequately put across the Russian to the English is pretty difficult. But I find Tolstoy, Dostoevsky frightfully unadventurous on the sentence level. I know that they've got plot and, you know, they're intertwining men, women, and priests and all the rest of it, and it straddles continents and it's all fantastic. And yet, I just think I cannot help but think that sentence that you have just written isn't the best one that you could possibly have put down. You haven't thought about it. That's what I want to hear and feel from a writer, and I just don't get that. Bernicia Bound, aren't they on Holy Island? In 20 Years Later, it's not too far from me, 30-minute drive at most, also evening or. So I'm hearing lots about 28 Years Earlier. The title is sort of brandished into my brain, but I don't know who's in it or what it posits or how I should go about streaming it. But I mean, there's been great compliments given to it here. Nietzsche and Wig, I'm glad we share a favourite Victorian novelist and novel in George Eliot and Middlemarch. Yes, we do. Double thumbs up. RN73 says hi. Hello. Getting back on track. What book have you tried to read and loathed it so much you cannot restart? Mine is Wuthering Heights. Well, that's unfortunate because I thought Wuthering Heights was jolly good. Loathed it so much I cannot restart. I would probably say... what did I really detest that I put down after sort of half a page? There was a book called Civilization, and I'm forgetting the writer's name, but I got maybe 2/3 of the way through and sent it windmilling through. And it's given that it's such a consequential book dealing with such big, weighty, pregnant matters, I was really keen to press on and then found, unfortunately, that I couldn't. But these are good questions getting back on track. That's good. Bernicia Bound, most of the BBBBB gang is here. Yes, I can never quite reel off that acronym. What is it? Biscuity Booktube Boy Band or something. Karen Potter, am with you on Portrait of a Lady. Yes, Portrait of a Lady is very, very good. Henrietta Catchpole is indeed... is it Catchpole or Stackpole? Stackpole, Henrietta something. Steve Donahue, the BBBBBBBB gang, ha. Yes, we're all here. And that, I suppose, is, I would say, maybe cause for celebration. But it's a Thursday evening here, and the reason, indeed, that my house is free is because Mother has gone to the Isle of Wight Festival, right the way down in Hampshire, the foot of Albion's Isle. And she has left me... My goodness, we are crashing to our deaths. Sorry, folks, minor technical difficulties. I will be just back with you. Let me pick everything up. Dearie me. Hold on 1 second. No, don't do any of that. Okay, I believe I haven't damaged anything. And but yeah, that was the first slip up. Mother has gone down to the Isle of Wight to listen to middling artists and to, I have no doubt, induct illicit pharmacology. She is going to be hooning in the powder as we speak. And so that means that I have an entire weekend to myself, which means that I can entertain Ethiopian beauties and coquettes. Nietzsche and Wig. Henry James' sentences are too ponderously long for me to decipher adequately. Turn of the Screw was underwhelming. I hope to try him again. Yes, I know what you mean. He is a bit starchy and a bit full, isn't he? But not without merit. I like Washington Square, Portrait of a Lady, and I enjoyed the Bostonians as well. But I know where you're coming from. I believe there's a difference from him. There is a difference to be discerned from when he wrote everything down, sort of freehand or longhand, and when he dictated to an amanuensis. Steve Donahue at it again. I cannot get rid of that whey-faced git. The Isle of Wight, home to several cryptid sightings. Yes, I don't know quite which cryptid sightings, but yeah, I've been myself when me and Stephen went to see... I think it was one of his old Navy ships sunk or scrapped, and that was happening down there near Portsmouth, and we hopped across to the Isle of Wight where there was a brumming motorbike festival on, but it's all about wavy teens and rocking middle-aged divorcees, apparently, this weekend, so that's good. Nietzsche and Wig, is Grandpa Spivey a fellow Jim Reeves admirer? Jim Reeves, gentleman in the profile pic. I can't spot him. I need my glasses on for the television, so I'll put them on in a moment. I don't think so, no. He could be, for all I know. Christopher Russell, someone said there was a BBBB meetup. This is quite ridiculous. We now have Russell, the BookTube's resident cartoon hedgehog, Steve Donahue, the whey-faced Bostonian, David Murphy, the as-yet unnicknamed individual, Joseph Edward, and all we need now is Aaron Facer. Steve Donahue, Henry James's sentences became much longer and more ponderous when he and I broke up. Yep, again, we've got to indulge Steve in all of his multiple maniae. What is the plural of mania? 10 points for any of you who can give me that answer. But yeah, we've got to indulge Steve in all of his idiocies. He can only be 75 or 80, and yet, of course, it's a trope of his channel to call himself either 28 or 264, and I think that the width of that parameter tells us how mad he is. Nietzsche and Wig, when will you be abandoning the wasteland of Hull for glorious London? When a humble benefactor gives me 250,000 sterling, that's when that will be happening. When I have decent gainful employment and when I can, when the rent market stabilises. Traumatic tomes, what a tag that is. Jack Edwards is my favourite BBBBB member. Hidden gem, that lad. Well, I don't know how hidden he is, given that he's got 1,000 subscribers on his... 1 million subscribers on his main channel and a great many more on his other channel. But we're switching on the television, so if there is interference, if there is madness from another angle, then that is why. But I do not need my glasses for this because I am... Oh, and would you believe it? Look what is being recommended to me 28 days later. Jim, played by Cillian Murphy, much overrated, learns that a deadly virus was released. Released where? Has it infected the whole planet? Well, that's a terrible synopsis, but it looks good. It just goes to show that technology is always listening. Where were we? Bernice Bound. Sting is headlining. Yes, he is. Sting from The Police. Yes, he's of all the music in the world, I probably listen to his often the most. No doubt Ma Spivey is going to be swooning while Roxanne belts out. Yes. Haha, yes, Jack Edwards is the final member of the BBB. Could be. Nietzsche and Wig, I think you should give Larkin another try. I've already given him a try. He is depressing, but I like the sardonic and crotchety observations on modern life. By crotchety, do you mean of the crotchet? Or, crotchety? Well, 15 points for those of you playing Joe Spivey Verbal Bingo. Crotchety is worth 15 points this afternoon. We're just going to scroll down to the sport and see whether Hull Kingston Rovers can maintain their fantastic vein of form. What will it be on? Will it be on Sky Sports Action? I think it will. I think it is. It is. We're live at the Menderhose Jungle, just 45 minutes down the M62, where Hull Kingston Rovers are going to fell the Tigers. Benicia Bound, I don't think I could be paid enough to move to London. Why is that, Benicia Bound? Tell me. And am I also, clarify if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, I don't think I could be paid enough to move to London. Why is that? Wonder why that is. I would much like to go to the Big Smoke and the steaming city. That would be nice, actually. I think I'd get along very, very well with everybody. But yeah, I was sitting outside sunning. That reminds me. I don't know why this reminds me of it. Maybe because he's a metrosexual. But Schooner Scorer, who I understand has a short form content channel, who scores beer drinking. I was compared to him sort of not 4 hours ago when I was sat sunbathing, so that was very, very nice. Not by somebody I would like to prod, but by a walking female. So that's progress. Nietzsche and Wig, if you, a gorgeous 6 foot tall, thin white guy, can't succeed on dating apps, Joe, there is no hope for me. Well, yeah. When I inevitably become extremely famous, and when eventually I am a rich man, and I am releasing sort of columns and advice for biddable young men, I will tell them not to put any stock in the idea of a dating app, because I've always said I would back myself with anybody in the flesh, and yet I barely get a sniff on dating apps. Cal J or Calge, do you ever watch rugby union? I do, very, very occasionally. I watch the internationals. Rugby league is a strategically adept game for sort of northern working class decent men, whereas rugby union is the shove for bankers' sons, essentially. Sorry to insult, but these are my feelings. Nietzsche and Wig, I had no idea you wore glasses. Please try them on. So, and that is how I look. Does it add to the aesthetic, or does it detract? Does it take away? What are we thinking? I don't actually need them on this evening because I am what am I? I am sort of half a Joseph from the television, and so I'm very much close enough. The pundits are releasing their cliches. The sun drenches about half of the pitch. The main east stand of Castleford Tigers, Menderhose Jungle, sort of launches shade on half of the pitch, and we are ready to go. There are the boys, Suasso Sue, Aribi Doro, Declan Booth, all at the moment accoutered in training kit blue, but they will soon be, and there of course is the Hull Kingston Rovers faithful, probably 1,000 strong in such a short stand. There we are, jogging into the tunnel. We'll be commencing in 5 or 6 minutes, and we will be, as I say, letting blood. Benicia Bound, Nietzsche and Wig. Ray-Bans would look even cooler. Yes, I've owned and sat on 2 pairs of Ray-Bans in my life. Benicia Bound, I worked there a lot in my 20s, and I disliked it immensely. I prefer Edinburgh or York as a home base. Again, you haven't really given me a reason. You've just sort of doubled down on your opinion. Why was it that you disliked it immensely? What was it? I need opinions, and I need evidence, in other words. But it's going to be immensely strange watching rugby league in silence. Of course, mine will be the only commentary provided. Steve Donahue, the glasses style is wrong for your face shape. Smaller, round lenses would work much better. I can't quite figure out whether that's satirical or not, but okay, so smaller round lenses would work much better. Okay, well there we go. That has made me, if anything, less secure about wearing those glasses. I'm, if anything, more insecure now, but that's fine. I'll return to Specsavers and tell me that they sold me a dud. So I need smaller, rounder ones in order to look like Henry Winter from The Secret History, no doubt. There's an advert for fried chicken. Apparently it's $7.99 for a family bucket. That's not bad. There's an advert for easy bathrooms, simple luxury. There is a lady with a blonde bob whom I should like to bed. I suppose that is the reasoning behind the advert. There she is. stroking a kitchen sink. There is a slightly older lady who is lost but somehow satisfied by the expertise of the crew. There is a steaming shower, and of course she's immensely satisfied with the work provided. Nietzsche and Wig, Steve and I doing a who can comment on the hotness of Joe more eloquently competition. No, you see, I get this everywhere, and it's fine. But I'll do nothing but think less of you if you make a competition out of that. Okay, I know that I am aesthetically proficient, and so I don't need to be objectified anymore. But yeah, keep your comments coming through. Apart from Nietzsche and Wig and Steve Donahue, you guys need to refrain. Dave Murphy, yes, a good time for me to go and read about Operation Barbarossa. Okay, right, yes, okay, that sounds like, that sounds unconnected. Steve Donahue, every time I've visited London, everybody I've stayed with has wondered aloud why I'd ever want to leave. Yes, possibly. Nietzsche and Wig, I am yet to read any Eliot that is not Middlemarch. I fear it would ruin the mystique. Yeah, you could go with Silas Marner or with Romola. Those are my other top two. There's Middlemarch, which is a league of its own, within her own oeuvre and indeed every other novel ever written. Then you've got Romola and Silas Marner. Then you've got terrible books. Daniel Deronda, or largely terrible books with sparks of brilliance. Daniel Deronda, Felix Holt, what I've just read, Adam Bede, and probably Scenes from Clerical Life. Nietzsche and Wig, yeah, I've done that one. Christopher Russell, Steve told me that my head is too big for my body, so you're not the only person Steve made feel insecure. That's fine. I exist only on a screen, on a pixelated screen to Steve, and so when he sees me in real life, if and when he ever sees me in real life, I'm sure his loins will need to be girded. Steve, when is it not a good time to read about Operation Barbarossa? That's true. I don't know much about it myself, but I'm sure the books will be read eventually. I should imagine Mr. Beaver has done a good one, hasn't he? Nietzsche and Wig, what is your go-to menswear company? Mine is Charles Tyrwhitt. Ralph Lauren, there he is, the horseman playing polo. Tommy Hilfiger, the usual lot. If ever I want to part with three figures, if ever I want to spend £100 on a t-shirt, it will be either Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, or others. And if not, it'll be I quite like what's the cheaper brand that I enjoy? Top Man, if it still exists. Stuff that you used to get from Top Man. Benicia Bound, sorry, too busy for me, and there was a general whir of unfriendliness and distrust. That's fair enough, yeah, there are a few pickpockets knocking about. I was just hoping that you wouldn't go down the right-wing path and say that sectarianism and multiculturalism had failed. I was just hoping that you wouldn't do that. Barbarous says, babash. Okay, that hopefully is not an invective. Steve Donahue, my favourite menswear company is the dumpster behind the charity shop. That's you know, to each his own, I shall say. Nietzsche and Wig, I have a great admiration for Mr. Ralph Lauren. May he be immortal. Yes, I don't doubt that, like so many sort of groundbreaking industrialists, that he was a sort of vehement, incessant anti-Semite, and he's got all sorts of, he's got a very problematic biography, but I'm sure his clothing company will survive. So here's the Castleford Tigers team. Rowan Milnes, you're rubbish. Dejan Arce, you're even worse. Tom Amone, you're signing for Rovers next year, so you're a little bit better. Liam Horn, I don't know why you're wearing a kit. Brad Singleton will do 25 minutes before he needs his inhaler. These are really crap. We should nail them. George Lawler, Chris Atkin, Alex Meller. My God, that's a lamentable crew. We are going to feast. No more comments since I read out the team sheet. Keep the comments coming in, folks. They don't have to be booktube based or bookish based. You can ask me about. You can ask me about Iran if you like, because everybody's obviously a geopolitical expert at the moment and thinks that the Iran nuclear deal was excellent, which was orchestrated by, I think, Barack Obama, and Trump's stamping on it was much to the detriment of America. But here is the Hulkington Rovers team. The Frenchman Arthur Morg at fullback, Tom Davis on the wing, rather stocky figure, Noah Booth, the youngster who we are blooding. Because for some reason I think Joe Burgess is probably still on the lash from the Challenge Cup victory. Nietzsche and Wig, are you a Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra enjoyer? No, I couldn't list a single song or hum a single tune of their songs, unfortunately. I'm musically illiterate. Mikey Lewis at number 6 and Tyrone May, the Brains Trust, the guys who will dictate play. Suaso Su, the big forward, committed a spit at Wembley and was not charged for it. Jez Litton, named in the dream team this week at number 9, and Dean Hadley, the thinnest prop forward in the league. Barbaros, I don't understand what you're saying, but the guy is handsome. Well, the guy would like to be referred to in the first person if at all possible. The guy can see everything that you're doing, and the guy would like you to call him Joe. The head coach, of course, is Willie Peters. There is the team, and we are set to go. Come on, the Reds. Let's see what we can do. Again, there should be no problems tonight, but I envisage, given the narrow nature of the pitch at Castleford Tigers, it's a really, really, really terrible ground, played in the middle of a council estate, and so the pitch is really compact, and so our free-flowing style will not be allowed, and so a little bit of a grudge match could ensue, but I think on the hour mark, 60 minutes in, when I have bid you all a fond earthly farewell, then I think we'll take control. Karen P, are you currently writing anything? I would love to say so, but daily diary entries? Yeah. The novel that is underway will soon take up a great deal of my time, but for now, we are still in the consumption phase, reading and listening. Nietzsche and Wig, what is the origin of the surname Spive? I have looked it up once, and I think sort of comically or mockingly, it was said on the internet that it stood for the village idiot or something. I don't know. Benicia Bound, what's your opinion on the findings and recommendations of the Casey report? Now, was the Casey report pertained to grooming gangs? Did it? I need confirmation of that. I think it did, and I can't remember the findings of the report. If you want me to comment on grooming gangs and Elon Musk and Nigel Farage and the Reform Party and Rupert Lowe, then I can do. But the specifics of the report are in my mind. Nietzsche and Wig, have you watched Young Sheldon? Terrific show. I have not. No, I have not. I believe it comes from The Big Bang Theory, does it not? And we're already getting buffering, and that's not good enough. So we need to switch channels. We need to perform a switcheroo. There are two ladies with their faces painted like tigers. How inventive. Keep your comments coming, folks. Keep your stuff coming in, and I will, as I say, endeavour to answer. Here come the Castleford Tigers, about to be shellacked on national television. That's not good for the mental health. There their fans are, applauding already foreseeing their own devastation. Keep your stuff coming in. The Casey report. Can I remember about the? I'm sure that was connected to the grooming gangs, wasn't it? And if so, I should imagine that the recommendations were worthwhile and should be implemented, rather than us spending £50 million more on another inquiry to learn the same things. Essentially, the only aim of those calling for another inquiry is to racialise the perpetrators, which is a deep shame. Karen Potter, how about the Mitford sisters on BBC? No, I've not seen that either. But thank you, Karen, for recommending the what was it now? The triplets of Belleville. That was a really, really good. I don't think I've ever seen a silent French cartoon. That was the first I took of the genre, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it at a time when the house was in flux, when we were having radiators put in. My bed was faced eastward rather than northward, and it was damn good fun. Cal J, funny that the opponents of the Tigers, as that is Hull's football nickname. Yes, there is something in that, isn't there? Last week, the Tigers played at that same stadium against Hull FC, our neighbours, and of course the Tigers won at the Tigers ground, and much was made in the media about that one. Nietzsche and Wig, I do not share your enthusiasm for Coleridge. When I worked my way through my collected works, I found his work artificial and abstruse and manipulative and without the self-deprecating charm of Byron. Yeah, Coleridge, a little bit serious, but I won't, as I say, we needn't go into depth here, but I like the stuff. Essentially, any poet whose lines scan and anybody who rhymes, I am up for. But off we go. We're 22 seconds in and the Rovers have the ball. Do you enjoy other sports besides football? Yes, football, rugby league, professional road cycling, cricket, England versus India, huge 5-test series starting tomorrow. What else do I enjoy watching? That might be about it. More. There will be more, but they're not coming to mind. We're on the 5th tackle, and we are approaching the halfway line. Mikey Lewis sends up a big old bomb, and we chase, and it's right in the sun. The Castleford Tiger receiver takes the ball, and we tackle them on the 20. Nietzsche and Wig, I adore Wordsworth. He doesn't always rhyme, but the sincerity and the natural imagery and the deep philosophical insight is all there. Yes, Wordsworth wrote some handy political poems, I think, early on, and then he started talking about sunflowers, didn't he, later on? Which is fine, each to his own. But I had a great big bowl full of chicken and chorizo earlier, and that's the digestive rebuttal is being felt at the moment. I'm burping and bumping, but they're on the fourth tackle and they're over the halfway line and they're slinging the ball about. And Hulkingston, we need to cover that. And Hiku gets a hold of him. Tyrone May gets a hold of him, and we eventually bring him down 25 metres out. So Castleford have made a great many yards in this first set, and I don't like the look of that. Kick goes up. It's in a strange position. Will we let them have it? I think we should. We do let them have it. It bounces randomly. That is not 6 again. Don't you dare call that 6 again, Tom Grant, you useless twerp. No, he hasn't. Thank you. Hulkingston Rovers have the ball 10 yards out. But yeah, keep your comments coming in. I promise that I will still pay you a lot, though we've been going for 40 minutes. This has already been jolly good fun, and I am glad that things are running smoothly after a few botched attempts. So yeah, we attack on our second set, and there is Tom Davis making very many yards. He needs to get up and play the ball quickly. That must be holding on, referee. Surely that's a penalty. Jez Litton scoots, and surely that man was offside when he tackled him. That should be 6 again. Has it been given? No. Yes, we have been given 6 again. Goodness me, you don't quite realise how informative it is to watch rugby league with the volume on. But yeah, Rovers have 6 again in the opposition's second half, so this should be our first chance to attack. Mikey Lewis gives the ball straight to Jai Whitbread, who takes one up the guts and plays the ball just 12 metres out. Tyrone May drops one inside to Dean Handley. That's a big gap. Dodges and is tackled 5 metres out. Honky, this is real pressure here. We're on the third or the fourth. Jez Litton gives it across to Tyrone May, who gives it across to Mikey Lewis, who gives it across to to Jack Broadbent, who scores the first try after 3 minutes. That, my friends, was too easy. Woo! Fantastic. In front of the road. Easy. There we go. I've just woken up every neighbour in the postcode. Cal J, as you love sports, have you read many sports books, fiction or non-fiction? Yes. I have read a book called The Sports Gene. I have read a collection of essays on cricket by Gideon Haigh called The Ashes. If ever you want to learn about cricket, then Haigh is your man. He is both literary and demotic and exact. I have read copious books on Lance Armstrong, Tyler Hamilton's book, The Secret Race, Bradley Wiggins' biography, all sorts of books on sport, and of course, Trollope always involves hunting into his novels. Nietzsche and Wig, might I suggest that your next biography is Hamilton by Ron Chernow? That's a good recommendation, I will docket it, but Hulkingston Rovers have points just 4 minutes in, and that, frankly, was as easy as the proverbial. That is completely ridiculous, and we are going to march on to an easy victory if it's like that all night. That is frightening. That is absolutely frightening. Jack Broadbent is relaying information with Sean Kenny-Dowell. And yeah, Rovers go 4-0 up with a kick to come. And yeah, as I say, if that is a sign of things to come, then it's going to be a bloody night in West Yorkshire. Nietzsche and Wig says, picked up a copy of Clarissa from the Oxfam, where I volunteer. It's very good that you're volunteering at Oxfam. That's nice. Of all the charity shops in Britain, that would be the one that I would go to as well. You won't get many people sort of bleeding or anybody sort of towing their entrails around or whatever. So that would be a nice place to volunteer. Clarissa that's the long one, isn't it? There we go. Archie Moore pops one through the sticks, and it's 6-0. Yeah, Clarissa is the exceptionally long book, isn't it? Is it Samuel Richardson? Could be. I sound like a Zoomer who has never read a book in his life. But yeah, keep your comments coming, even if you think that you're insignificant. You are not. You are significant to me. I cradle you all with equal zeal. I love you all. Please do keep the comments coming. Keep me occupied, because I think Hulkingston Rovers are going to march on to a ceremonial victory, and that is sort of only good in the short term. Mikey Lewis takes the kick and gives it straight to Suaso Su, who barrels through the Castleford Tigers' defence. Lewis complains for a head-eye shot, and we get none of it. Tom Davis takes one up the guts as well, up to the 20-metre line, and that's holding on. That's a penalty again. Is it Tom Grant? No, it's Liam Moore in the middle. I misidentified the referee earlier on, but that's the third tackle, and we're already making good yards. Come on, keep the comments coming, folks. Keep it coming. I promise that I'm paying you good attention, and I promise that I will repay any time that you spend down in those comments. There's Jez Litton scooting out from hooker, who gives it a lot. I'm struggling to identify the players tonight. That may be the sun, but that's Tom Davies taking the tackle. Swings it Dean Hadley. We're over the halfway line. Looks to offload, but he's wrapped up by the Castleford Tigers defence. Have we been given another 6 again? We have. That's the second tackle. Oh dear. These penalties are killing the Tigers. Mikey Lewis steps, nearly gets through, but he's wrapped up by 3 Castleford Tigers players. Looks for an offload and crawls on his actual hands and knees to the 20. Still isn't tackled apparently, and is now forced to go back and play the ball. Liam Moore won't let him play the ball. Why doesn't Liam Moore let him play the ball? This is stopping all momentum. Here we go, spins it out to Elliot Minchella, drops off Suaso Su, who is up to his old dodging tricks, even for a big fella. I think he's dropped that ball. No, he hasn't. Litton goes across to Archie Morg, who dodges about, right through the middle, right up the guts. That's too simple, but he hasn't scored. He is tackled 1 metre out from the line. That is a try-saver from the sandy-haired Castleford Tigers defender. So Archie Morg plays it 10 metres out. On the 5th tackle, what's coming here? That's Tyrone May, who drops off. Tyrone May, eventually takes the tackle, and we get nothing from it, but we pin them in their own 10. Nietzsche and Wig, what are your thoughts on Thomas Hardy? I haven't read enough to have sort of decent and inviolable comments on him, but I like his stuff, simply put. There's not an awful lot wrong with it. I like Tess of the D'Urbervilles and some of the poetry. He was much overdone by my English teacher, and so I'm a little bit scarred. I think he was, as I say, overhyped and overrated. Natalie O'Doherty, hello. I've recently been made aware of another trollop. He knew he was right. It's now on my to be read list. Have you read that one? Yes, not a few months ago. I think I did a whole video on it. I requested it for Christmas, and Grandmother Spivey got it for me, and I read it. Considering it's an 800-900 page novel, I read it very, very quickly. It concerns a husband who is convinced that his wife has cheated on him, even though she hasn't, but because she fails to communicate very well, the ruckus and the rift is made large, and because of indecision and, again, poor communication, you have a wife separated from the husband. It's a great example of how Trollope takes the tiny the tiniest narrative kernel and somehow lets it expand into a huge book. Karen P, have you read Lonesome Dove? No, I have not. Nietzsche and Wig, you must revisit the brilliant Friedrich Nietzsche. Starting with the later works is a mistake. Try Human All Too Human instead. I may well follow up on that advice. I may not. Litton scampers out from hooker, kicks it himself. How is that going to land? It's not a good bounce, but it goes out for a dropout because the Castleford Tigers defender cannot risk it. And so Hulkinson Rovers will get the ball back. We are flying and in control. But keep the comments coming in. I will answer any question at all, provided it does not involve my own self-incrimination. I will plead the fifth to anything respecting drug use or embezzlement from public companies. I would never do that. But yeah, our Castleford Tigers, Natalie O'Doherty, if you ever read any philosophy, I'll eat my hat. I have read some philosophy in the past. It's not as if I've never read any. And I find some of it wholly interesting. I think Steve Donoghue has done it a slight disservice because there is some use to it. But yeah, I would never go to it, especially when I had, a free few days ahead of me. I would never embark upon Plato's Republic or Kierkegaard or anything. But yeah, keep your comments coming, folks. I am focusing on the chat and the match. Mikey Lewis is skimming through the gaps and is tackled eventually, sort of 10 metres out. We need to kill this game off early. We need another try. Here goes Elliot Minchella. Drops off number 12, whom I cannot name. That's James Batchelor, who takes the tackle 3 metres out. What will we cook up on the last few tackles? Gives it to Elliot Minchella, to Tyrone May. Straight to the centre, straight to the winger Noah Booth, who gets his try, I think. He scored that in the corner. Of course, Liam Moore will go to the screen because he can't decide anything, but I think Hull KR have a second, and isn't that good? But yeah, if I were to read some more philosophy, Nat, what would you recommend me to pick up? Keep the comments coming. I know there's only 9 of you here now, so there's been something of an exodus since the rugby started, but this is to be expected, I'm afraid. Can Noah Booth get this down? I think he has. Here's the slow-mo. There's the dive. Keep hold of the ball. Keep hold of the ball. Oh, yes, that's a try. That is a try. Thankfully, the slow motion blurs it, so there is no separation between the hand and the ball, and Archie Morg will have another conversion to kick. We go 2 scores up in under 10 minutes. That's a good start. So yeah, Natalie O'Doherty probably can't I'm not that original, and I do prefer the classics. Okay, yeah, I don't know an awful lot about good old Emmanuel. I wonder what he put forth. Nietzsche and Whig, another absorbing biography you must read is Roggevall's JFK biography. I've seen a biography of JFK on the Waterstone shelves. It's him sort of effete slightly, or you know what I mean, sort of Spivanian in his gorgeousness on the front. He sort of sat in a white car, topless. I think that was probably the first part of a multi-volume set. I've seen that one on the shelves, but I never connected it with an author's name, so it could have been Roggevall's or it could have been anybody's. Nietzsche and Whig. No, that's coming up again. So that's the original comment that is resurfacing. But yeah, Noah Booth gets his try right in the corner. And we go 2 scores up, and it looks as if it might be something of a simple shift for us. The problem is that the Castleford Tigers keep giving away penalties, and you cannot do that even against the weakest of sides, and we are right up there. So it doesn't look as if we're going to be troubled tonight, because we have the single best defence in the league, and rarely do we concede more than 10 points, and we've already got 10 on the board. So that's good. Nietzsche and Whig. Diarmaid McCullough's marvellous book on Christianity and his recent one on Christianity and secularism, I assume that is, are also must-reads. Okay, well, yeah, Christianity and secularism are on the mind, because I see an awful lot of opportunistic theists telling me that because GDP per capita is down, because materially I'm worse off than my previous generation, and therefore, oh, what a kick that is, Archer! Beautiful! Straight through the uprights, 2 more. Because because my generation hasn't got much purpose in life, that means that I must believe in a desert fairy tale, which is nothing if not manipulative and disadvantageous. But yeah, I am interested in Christianity and secularism and their coverage in book form. So yeah, hello everybody. Hello if you are new / recently subscribed. My name is Joseph Edward. I am the 4th in line for the title of the Earl of Ketchup, and I record thrice weekly YouTube videos, mainly on books and the consequences therein. So yeah, Hulkins Rovers get the ball back, 10 metres out from the own line, and we just need to drive in 6 tackles and then produce a huge long kick down the field, and all will be well. But we spin it out to Jai Whitbread, who is, I think, just fresh on the pitch probably, and off we go yet again. So yeah, keep your comments coming in. Nietzsche and Whig, I'm glad you have recovered from your addiction to the absurd charlatan Peterson. Yeah, I don't know whether it was an addiction, but yeah, I defended him in far too many dimly lit kitchens at university, let's just say that. So yeah, I think we're going to ship the ball out. Here goes Tyrone May. Ships it out, turns inside and makes very many yards. So that's the 5th tackle just beyond the 40. And it seems as if the Castleford Tigers might get the ball back and finally stem the flow. Big old kick from Lewis. That's all in the sun from the fullback. Will he take the kick? He does. And Castleford will start their set on roughly the 25. So yeah, let me know what you're reading at the moment, what you're thinking about it. And heaven forfend, what videos you think I might do in the future. I've just been reminded, dentally / orally, I am suffering a little bit at the moment, because I've got wisdom tooth coming through on the right hand side. I've made no mystery about this in the past. It's giving me a little bit of jip, and especially this last 3 or 4 days, because more of it is coming through, and the gums will not acquiesce, but they're shipping it out to the right, and we need to get hold of him. Mikey Lewis gets hold of him, and that's the 5th tackle. Natalie says, oh no, I missed this. Salutations de Montreal. Hello from Canada. You haven't missed much. Well, you have. You've missed 52 minutes. Oh, that's a very good catch from Archie Morg. You missed a little bit, but that means that we get 7 tackles from the 20, and off we pop already. Liam Moore's taking us back. You really are a pillar, can't you? I bet you were bullied at school, weren't you? You've got no friends in the world. No friends in the world at all. Why can't we play that quickly? We'd have been through... Anyway, yes, well, you've missed a little bit, but you've still got 25 minutes, Natalie. Nietzsche and Whig, you should cycle all the way down here so we can do a London bookshop crawl together. I'm sure that would be good, so long as my sexual safety can be guaranteed. Have I ever ridden a bike to London or in London? I can't think that I have. I've ridden all over the United Kingdom and Europe at a very, very, very fast pace. Bachelor gives it to Archie Morg, who goes straight across to Davis, who is tackled 40 metres out. We're already shipping it, and already the passes are flowing freely. Natalie says, great, yep, that's good, yeah, you can stick around for a short while. Lytton gives it, that's a forward pass to Suaso Su, but it was not given, that's fine. He is tackled on the 4th, 25 metres out, gets a quick play of the ball, off goes Lytton, off goes Minchella, off goes Tyrone May, cannot dodge the tackle of the number 6, plays the ball, Archie Morg does a little dink, we're going to contest for that in the air, Davis takes it, but can't get rid, and so we are tackled into touch. But Hulkingston Rovers have all the possession and all all the dominance. Getting back on track, have you read Julia by Sandra Newman? It is a retelling of 1984 from her perspective instead of Winston's. Haven't started it yet, but sound. Yes, that does. I haven't never heard of that, but it's an interesting concept. I think like the Secret History, much overrated and much oversighted. I think there was a stat the other year which said that it is the book most commonly lied about. In other words, when asked about it, the most people lie about having read it because it has sunk into the cultural zeitgeist, probably. But yeah, Hulkingston Rovers' defence is tenacious as per usual. Third tackle and Castleford are still on their 30, but they're going to have to ship the ball out. Oh my goodness, Brad Singleton dummies. That would be like a mammoth leaping through barbed wire. All of a sudden, Castleford have an opening and Hulkingston Rovers need to get a hold of it, lads. Oi, 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 oi. Calm down. 5th tackle on the 40 and they've knocked on, so that's okay. Liam Moore says it's backwards because he is a complete arsehole. That goes straight up in the air. Archie Morg is going to let the thing bounce. That's very awkward, but it bounces into touch. Nietzsche and Wig sounds like it might be a woke retelling of a classic novel. I hope not. Wokery and wokeism are in retreat, thankfully, but that's only because the Mango Mussolini in I nearly said Australia. The Mango Mussolini in America looms larger, which is deeply unfortunate. But yeah, a part of me does like the fact that the blue-haired maniacs no longer have their day. That's a high tackle on Archie Morg, not given because Liam Moore is a sadist. Quick play the ball to Tom Davis, who runs straight up the middle of the pitch. We are making far too many yards with each carry. Arch Girl, where did you go to school? Now, that is much disputed by biographers and scholars, but no, it was a place called South Holderness Technology College, which has since been renamed Holderness Academy in 6th form. It is, I think, the worst funded school in the East Riding of Yorkshire, which is the worst funded region in the United Kingdom. So it is often supposed from the plum-throated tenor that I received a fee-paying education, but I did not. That's a pressure kick, and we smash Senior and drag him into touch. That is great effort, boys. Tyrone May and Tom Davis pursuing the kick, puts him in touch, and already Castleford Tigers look a beaten squad. So I went to school at a place called Holderness Academy in 6th form. It's crumbling down, and was at the time run by a Mormon, I think. What name was Miss Croft? Yeah, she was. It was again. It was stated. It was said. It was rumored that she was a Mormon. I don't know whether she actually engaged in polyamory or whatever. But yeah, it's not a great school. But I had a nice time there. The 6th form gets good reviews, but I believe the 6th form is now being sort of defunded almost. So that's where I went. It's just down Headon Road, sort of 15 minutes away. It was actually out of my catchment area in the city, but Mum always knew of it as a reasonable school. Off goes Archie Morg to Hiku, to Davis, who may score in the corner. A good tackle from the Castleford guys. I'll be amazed if he's got that one down. I think Liam Moore will send this up as no try because that looked very, very ugly. He will put a cross over his body. He has done. So that may have stopped Rovers getting a third. Nietzsche and Wig. I visited Yorkshire once when I visited York the Christmas before last. I was also given an offer to go to Durham but declined. Yeah, Durham's a long way from here. It's almost on the border of Scotland. It's very, very close. Now, has Tom Davis got this? He juggles the ball. Oh no, he's dropped it, and that will be a 7 tackle set for the Castleford Tigers. That's unfortunate because it looked a certain try, but steely defence from the home side, and so they keep it at 12-0. But my hordes of fans are not nearly as nervous as I usually would be. But yeah, I must admit the back wisdom tooth is giving me a bit of jip. And we'll see how that progresses. But I have a free house tonight, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So is it the dog can play while the cat's away? I don't know. I can do as I wish with Ethiopian coquettes. So yeah, we're going to have to steel ourselves also here because Castleford have 7 from the 20, and even a poor side can get a long way with that. Karen P, have you crossed the pond? Yes, I went to New York in December of 2019, just before that horrendous SARS-CoV-2 pandemic. I went for my mother's 50th with her, and we did all the typical touristy things: Lady Liberty, the public library, went on the subway and saw all of the doldrums, and had a pretty good time. Went to a Jets game against the Dolphins at MetLife Stadium, and Castleford Tigers are nearly through, but that's a good tackle. Get off him, otherwise the referee will penalise you. Castleford Tigers are attacking. They're putting it through hands. Peter Higgoo needs to get back into the defensive line. They're skipping about. I'm not liking this. Get his legs. The man can't run with. Remember the first teachings, boys. Do not forget first principles. All right, that's the 5th. At last, that is the 5th. They will put a kick through, will they? No, they will not. They will go through hands. Number 12 will attempt to kick the ball, eventually do so, and Archie Moore will sweep up and be tackled in his in goal. That's very good from Brad Singleton. So Castleford is showing signs of coming back. Karen P, Boston must be on the next visit. Yes, I don't know why that is. Probably because there's a whey-faced critic waiting for me. But that's a good tackle from the big fella. Archie Morgan, nifty bloke, is hit by the big prop forward. You don't see that every day. But yeah, Castleford summon up something out of nothing, and all of a sudden they are putting pressure on our lines. This is good stuff. They're no mugs, these lot. They beat our noisy neighbours Hull FC last week. Keep your comments coming in. I promise that I'm paying you due attention. That's a bouncing, terrible ball, and that was nearly dropped, and that nearly left 3 or 4 aged men with egg on their face. So yeah, 20 minutes in, 12-0 to the Robins, and yeah, it's comfortable, but you just never know with this lot. Yeah, keep your comments coming through. I know I keep saying that monotonously and like an automaton, but I do mean it. I want to hear from you. They're shipping the ball out, and the winger is free, but we've got the coverage, and we're probably going to put him in touch, are we? No. Very good tackle from Archie Morgan. That's the 3rd. That is the 3rd. Minchella's at square marker and needs to make some yards. We need to... Westerman's not going to do anything with the ball, is he? Let's face it. Thrown out to number 12, who is dodging and diving, and that is a brilliant tackle from Suasso Sue. He is going to be reeling from that one in the morning. 4th. Westerman gives it in, shoots out. Singleton straight through the middle, getting nowhere, makes an offload. We need to wrap him up. Wrap the man up! Wrap the ball up. Thank you. That was the 5th, and Rovers will have the ball 5 metres out from their own line. But you can see there from my raised tones that was a stressful moment there. And I need a drink. But yeah, I wonder if it's the connection that is barring the comments, because I then get a flood through afterwards. Karen P, you visit the Brattle Bookshop and down some wine and calzones with Steve and videos together. Yes, that would be good. That would be good. But I shall only do that when I am a significant person in my own right. I'm not going to jet over there now for the sake of it. Westerman is clutching his shoulder. That means that his clavicle is done for. Off goes Kalepi Tanganoa, bandaged up already, though he's not played a minute on the pitch. That must mean that his wife has been at him again. Jez Litton goes for a 40-20, tries to catch the fullback out. Where's the bounce? It's not there. But that's a pretty good kick in general. How's the chase? Pretty good. And we pin him in 10 metres out. Great work from Broadbent. Cal J, how is the Dante's Inferno that's over England now in Hull? It's very welcome. I have been tanning for ages this afternoon. I've had the French doors open. I have had the sun cream on, and as you can see from the texture of my hair and the redness of my forehead, I have been sunning in it nicely, because I know that I won't be doing so tomorrow, because I have a chesty companion to welcome into Plimsoll Palaces, and there is indeed a cricket match on as well, so I won't be in the sun much at all. But that's the 5th tackle, and they've only got 30 metres. This is good. We are suffocating teams characteristically. Lewis needs to get off, because that is probably laying on, but it's not given, thankfully. And the Castleford Tigers will kick, and we will take it on the full, hopefully, with Archie Moore. Go on, Archie, you little... The French artist of our team. Gayton D, have you read Frankenstein? I have an oral exam tomorrow. Wish me luck. Now, I could make a lewd joke about your oral exam, but I won't do so. That's a penalty from the Castleford Tigers because they're offside and lazy, and Hulkingston Rovers are gifted another 30 yards up the field. Have I read Frankenstein? Yes. I believe there are 2 editions, aren't there? And I obviously prefer the more rhapsodic one, the more traditional one. But yeah, I've read it and studied it at university, and have since read it after coming out of the academy, after rusticating. And yeah, I really, really enjoy it, and I find it remarkable that she wrote it in a very, very short space of time. Didn't she write it in the space of something absurd like 2 weeks or something. Yeah, she wrote it very, very quickly, and I think it outshines anything that Percy ever wrote down. So yeah, that's my answer to a Frankenstein question. But Rovers have possession 20 metres out, and we really should post some more points here because we've been on top, and in case Castleford Tigers resurge, we need more points. There goes Morg. That's a massive pass. It's a foot race for Davis, and he will score in the corner, I think, just about. I think it's close to the touch, but they're going to send this one upstairs because the referees are paid a wage, and yet they cannot make a decision live on television because they are useless and were given the cane at prep school. Why is that not a try on the pitch, Liam Moore? Goodness me, these blokes really, really annoy me. That is easily 6 points that should already have been awarded to us, and yet you're wasting yours and our time by being short of reason. So this is going to go upstairs, and hopefully we're going to be awarded the try. Hopefully Davis gets in the corner. The only reason that I'm angry is because I think he may have bodged that one. No, that's a try. And Rovers will post some more points in the corner. Thank you very much. There was no need to send that one upstairs. Liam Moore needs to thicken his spectacles. Sorry about that that lash, folks. I'm sorry about that outburst. I don't usually do that, but I don't know what came over me there. But yeah, I'll get this to the calmest of customers. But yeah, keep the likes coming in, keep the comments coming in. But yeah, Hulkingston Rovers fans bathing in the sunshine there, and yeah, that's very good. It's good that we're 16 points up. We're not going to concede 3 tries, and the game may well be gone. I know we've still got an hour to play, and it might be too early to call that, but what a pass that is from Archie Morg. You'd think the boy was a halfback, you really would. It's sturdy defence from the Tigers, not giving up until the last metre, but you just simply can't defend against that attack. That is gorgeous. I think the kids say, hang it in the Louvre, don't they? Gayton D, have you visited Belgium? Yes, there is or was until recently, a P&O ferry port in Hull, which allowed one to sail from Hull to Zeebrugge overnight. So I've been to Bruges, and where else have I gone? Where is it that's near there? There's Bruges, and there is Oostende. I've been, to Bruges and Ostend, and very much enjoyed it, even though nasty. Morg has kicked a third, has he? No, that's just going to glance wide of the post, but that's fine. They've all been on the wing, and that leaves it 16-0 after 25 minutes played. So I will, as I say, I'll commentate and regale you with myself until half-time, which is, as I say, 15 to 20 minutes away. So get your questions in. If you are burning for an answer, then, as I say, now is the time to let rip. But yeah, I have visited Belgium. It's a nice place. Of course, it is the home and birthplace of one of my favourite sports, road cycling, and so one day I would like to go to Flanders Fields and to the cobbled regions and to see what it's like in the flesh. But yeah, Jai Whitbread takes one up, and that's got to hurt the defender. He really did charge forward there. But yeah, I don't think people realise how trying and how difficult it can be to just fill the air with your voice for 1 hour and 7 minutes. It's difficult even for the most loquacious of us. But Kalepi Tanganoa takes one forward. Do not offload on your own 20-metre line, Kalepi. Whatever you are thinking, abandon it. Whatever plan you're cooking, do not bother. Lewis goes down the short side to Miz and dummies and nearly gets free. Makes a quick play of the ball. That's really, really messy from Castleford. Hadley takes it up to the halfway on the 5th, where he is tackled, and presumably Lewis will send one getting on, but Liam Moore doesn't give it. Straight up in the air, and the last rays of sun will obstruct the fullback, but he takes it, and we smash him. We do not smash him. We don't even tackle him yet. That's a very good play, but it's very dangerous on your own line. 20 metres out, Castleford have the ball, and we can all take a breath. But yeah, let me know what you're reading at the moment. Let me know what you've thought of my recent outputs. Let me know what you're doing on this, the sunniest of Thursday evenings. Let me know whether you're having beer with your friends in the garden, or whether you are studying hard for an oral exam, or whether you are reciting the periodic table. Let me know what's going on. That's a really nice play. Could have been forward from the Tigers, not given. We get round his legs, and that's the 4th on halfway. We need to get off, otherwise there'll be a penalty. That lad, I've never seen him before, but he's playing pretty well. I think Liam Moore has waved play on, and Mikey Lewis is going to run through the whole team. He will probably check. Liam Moore will check whether this is going to be a try, but Lewis will put the ball down under the posts, and it will all depend, of course, on what signal Liam Moore gives. He's given a knock on the field. He's just going to give the try. That is a man after my own heart, you beautiful man. Liam Moore. Hull Kingston Rovers go 4 scores up, and the game is over. What's the chant? Top of the league, ole ole, I think it is. Joe Westerman, who's had the ball stolen from him, is incandescent behind those posts. He believes the ball has been stripped from his grasp. Liam Moore, unfortunately, thinks that the ball has been lost. And because I'm wearing red and white lenses of the Hull Kingston Rovers, I probably think the ball was lost as well. But it's been given, and he isn't checking it. Now he's taking the time. Oh, there's a captain's challenge. Well, again, these are the benefits of having the sound on. I would have known that had it had I had the volume on, I'd have known. But so we can lay off there just yet. I don't know whether it's been given. So Westerman takes the ball up, and I wonder if the ball has been stripped. Let's have a look. Westerman takes it up. It's a good tackle. It's a good tackle. Is there a reefing motion? There may be. There may be a reefing motion. We shall see what the video referee thinks. Yeah, if I was a Castleford player, I'd probably want that doing. Quite what he's supposed to do, I'm not sure. It looks like a decent tackle to me, but given that they're not showing Mikey Lewis running under the posts, then I should imagine it's not going to be given. We're going to have one chalked off, which is unfortunate. We are going to have one chalked off, so they will retain the captain's challenge. That's deeply saddening. So it remains, what, 16-0? Throws his hand in the air and says 5 more tackles. I'm not sure. I think it's Westerman's responsibility to keep hold of the ball. Or are you interested in reading authors from Mitteleuropa? Joseph Roth, Sandor Murray, etc. Save from Kaffersvig. I rarely find booktubers reviewing books by authors of this era and region. No, I have not. But if you can recommend some Stormers, then, as I say, I'll add them to the mental docket. So yeah, Hull Kingston Rovers have got some defence to do. We're 20 metres out, and things aren't looking as rosy as they were just 5 minutes ago. So Liam Moore gives Castleford 6 again. So this really is their first major opportunity on our line, and we need to hold them out. So 16-0, 28 minutes played, and if we don't concede here, there's Tom Amone, who will be in red and white next season. So it'd be nice to see him showing us his exploits. Getting back on track, I'm researching battery-powered fans since my central air needs repair. And that's a knock-on! That's deeply unfortunate for George Lawler, and that is not how you play rugby league, Sunshine. You have bottled it. Since my central air needs repair, next few days going to feel as if I'm in a sauna with 95 Fahrenheit with high humidity. Yes, it's hot at the moment, and not every single one of my windows is open, but at night time I have the window wide open. And yeah, it's deeply humid, so I don't actually need battery-powered fans, but good on you for doing so. Getting back on track, you can't be from Britain because it's not 95 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, but yeah, I feel for you, brother or sister. There's the quick offload from Hull KR, and what do we get? Sort of 40 metres out on the second tackle. Minchella gives it to May, through to Tanganoa, who tries to offload to Lewis, who would have been through, but can't quite get it away. That's faffing and will be 6 again, surely. Yes, it's waved through, so we need to settle. All plans need to be cancelled, and we need to camp down under their H's. And yeah, Hull Kingston Rovers look as if they're going to get another score in a moment, which is jolly, jolly good, is it not? So it goes down to Minchella, who gives it to May, who gives it straight to Batchelor, who is smashed. That was a murder ball. A decent halfback giving that one out. Wouldn't be seen dead passing like that. But anyway, Batchelor takes the tackle, as he must. That's got to be holding our game. That's too slow. Morg is at dummy half, spins one out to Minchella, who gives one to Luckley, who drives one straight up the middle. The arm is available for the offload, but doesn't give it. 3 metres out, third tackle. What a Rovers cook it to May. There are big gaps, who gives it to Lewis, who must dummy. No, and that is that a knock-on? Is that a knock-on or a high shot? It's a high shot. Okay, so we get 6 more, 5 metres out, and we should keep your comments coming through, folks. You've only got 10 more minutes of Joseph Edward before he buggers off to, oh my goodness, right chops. Even Mr. Eichmann would have been ashamed of that. Dearie me, that's an awful challenge. A professional rugby league player stooping to such malice. Oh dear. Okay, so we'll get 6 more, and if we don't score here, then I am the Tsar of all the Russians. So yeah, as I say, we've only got 10 more minutes, folks. There's only 7 of you here, but it's been really nice getting in touch with you all, and yeah, I think it might be my I don't know. It might be tonsillitis, and in fact not my right wisdom tooth. I don't know, but I can feel something. Something's giving me jip. But that's about 10 minutes. Could he be in the sin bin? Could he be off? Could he be meeting his maker? No, of course not. That was a silly thing to consider, Joe. A silly thing to brook. Okay, Broadbent taps it 10 metres out, gives it to the talisman Mikey Lewis, who gives it straight to Sam Luckley, who drives it up and settles her in. Takes it down. We must score here. And if we go into half-time 22-0 up, then the game is probably gone. Here goes Jez Litton. Here goes Tyrone May. And Tyrone May dodges and slips and comes back across the field. And Tyrone May continues and must take the tackle, but instead Tanganoa drives it straight up. Looks for an offload. Can't give one. Okay, what are we scheming here? What's going on here? Litton gives it to Minchella, as usual, who gives it to Handley, who looks behind for the offload, but isn't allowed to give one. Tackled. 3 metres out again on the third. This is sturdy defence from the Tigers. Here goes Luckley, bursts over, basketball pass to Morg, who dives in and scores. There we go, that is 4. Has he scored that? Has he scored that or has he not? Liam Moore doesn't know whether to give it. How can that not be clear? Liam Moore has a try on the field. Getting back on track, I have a couple of Zweig books on my wish list. Well, that's good. What has Mr. Zweig written? Is he worthy of my time? If so, then I'll get on him. Has Archie Moore... Oh my God, we've dropped another. Goodness me. We've dropped again. The dominoes, it turns out, are not as stable as I once thought that. Yes, the ball's down. Of course the ball's down. With a try on the field, you need conclusive evidence to refute the live call. The arm is near the ball, but not on it. And Archie Morg grounds it. He grounds it there. Archie Moore grounds it there. That is a try. That is a try. Please award us 4 points. Please award us 4 points, referee, even though it looks like it might not be a try. Please give... Yes! There we go. 20 points to 0 with a kick to come. Approaching half-time. This game is over, fellas. Call me a clairvoyant. This game is finished. I think I might do an extremely cheeky thing and open a beer in the second half. Wouldn't that be nice? Because I've got company tomorrow and hope to do a video on Donna Tartt, though I might not get it out because